Kentucky goes to, I heard they're calling it Catlanta now. And in legislation, they're trying to legally change the name to Catlanta. I don't know how far that's going to go in the legal system, but I think BBN can push it far. And you might ask, why are they changing it to Catlanta? Duke fans, cover your ears. The Cats take down Duke in Atlanta. What a night. What a game. We're going to break it down right here on the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer and editor over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined by my co-host, Carson Nash. Carson, any comments? I mean, what did you do anything Tuesday night? What were you up to?
No, I mean, I didn't.
Anything interesting? No,
not really. I realized that Coach K is not at Duke anymore. I did.
Oh, really?
And I also realized that Kentucky has a new coach, and his name is Mark Pope, and he is here. He is here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just messing around. Of course, I watched the Kentucky game Tuesday night. That was, I mean, I texted you yesterday because I honestly was itching to do a podcast yesterday because I just wanted to get my thoughts and feelings out immediately. But I feel like waiting a day on it is actually better because I've gotten to fully actually make takeaways from the game instead of just being on cloud nine.
Yeah.
But that's a huge, huge win, huge statement win for Mark Pope. And what I didn't know is he ties Rick Pitino for the same amount of wins against Duke already in his first.
You mean
game.
Calipari?
No, Rick Pitino.
I thought Cal was 1-3 against Duke.
Cal has one win too. Cal has one win too. Yeah, so he ties Cal and Rick for wins over Duke in his third game.
Here's the deal. Duke fans, you're getting ready to go on blast. So if you don't want to be here, you can go ahead and leave. Listen.
No, talk. And I want to point this out too, because we don't do this enough and we get negative comments a lot. But if you don't know, we on the preview episode, everything we talked about that needed to happen happened, and we called it. And Andrew even called 77-75. I know it was 77-72.
I was close,
but
the best take of the pod was you.
You know ball. What?
The best take was you. My favorite take from that was you saying that flag can go off as long as you stop Knipple, and that's what happened.
I told you.
But
I told you.
I mean, here's the deal. I have so many things I'm going to gripe about. And the first thing I saw was like a video of a Duke Twitter space of just a bunch of people who don't understand ball, yapping about stuff they don't know anything about with this Kentucky team. And it was so frustrating. And it just, those guys got so many ats after the game. Here's the deal. Don't go into a Twitter space and talk if you don't know what you're talking about, because those receipts are going to be kept and you're going to look really silly. That happened. That made me mad. It made me mad enough to bring it up on this podcast. If it wouldn't have made me mad enough, I wouldn't have said anything about it. It pissed me off. There was that. Then there was the lady. Did you see this? The Sports Center lady who asked Jay Williams, which, by the way, Jay Williams, we're not going to get into Jay Williams. I can get into Jay Williams. I get into Jay Billis. There's a lot I could do. Yeah. But asking, has Kentucky peaked 3 games into the season? Here's the deal. This is all I can say. When you do what I do for a living in journalism and you write for a website, that quote, I was very excited that someone said that out loud.
Let me give you some inside information from that broadcaster as well. So I did a little more digging because that comment kind of actually pissed me off a lot. And she actually went to Indiana University, Bloomington. And so that makes all the sense in the world, given that their biggest game in the history of their program was a regular season game against Kentucky. So given that, makes complete sense. I'll let her slide now. It's all good. I
still love the video of them recreating that shot. And it's like of a regular season win. That's just, that's just, I mean, everybody's catching strays today.
That's hilarious that we brought that up because Marquise Teague and Deron Lamb were on KSR today. If y'all haven't listened to that, go listen to them. They were good. They give you a lot of good memories from that title run. But it's funny that we brought that up today.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, we're going to get into the game, but we have to take a victory lap here. So just accept that. We'll get into the game. But I mean, I love, it's what we've said for months, Carson. no one was going to believe in this team. No one was going to believe in this team.
Wildcats Today believed in this team.
Yes, of course. And all of our listeners here and everybody
shout out to you
believed
all
in this team. But I'm telling you, they were going to have to prove it. And that's why in this game, and it's what you and I said on the other day, Carson, I mean, I didn't feel great about Kentucky winning. I wanted to see this team compete and prove they could hang with one of the best teams in college basketball. Wanted them to win, obviously. Bet on them to win. That went well. But, I wanted them to prove to me they can hang. And they hung and they won. And what I love is the resilience. I tell you this, and I'm really not trying to throw shade at Calipari, but the reason I'm doing this is because it shows you where we're at as a program now. Down 9 at halftime, that game is over. Book it. Game is over.
100%.
And not just Calipari. That's not just a Calipari. It's also just his teams generally were younger. Young guys, when they get punched in the mouth, it's hard for them to come back like that. This Kentucky team, and I'll tell you this, Carson, I'll be honest, I didn't feel great at halftime. You and I talked on the phone. I didn't feel great at halftime.
I don't even think we played great.
No.
A complete game. I think that's why I was so upset about her saying that we peaked, because I felt that we played not our best. Yeah. And
neither did Duke. I don't want to hear Duke fans saying, well, yes, I don't think you all played great either, but Kentucky did not play well. And I like it. If you're not good against somebody else is not good as a win, we're not the type of team that has to be great against the team's not good to win. Our not good can beat their not good. And that is great. That's what gets me fired up.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I mean, they can say that they played bad, but I mean, Cooper put up a performance for like the ages, other than his 2 turnovers at the end.
Yeah, he struggled at the end. That kid's
he was bodied. They didn't have any timeouts. I'll get to that too. Well, I get to it right now. How about at the free throw line? I'll get to this first. When we were winning and Ortega was shooting, or Lamont was shooting the last free throws, and Ortega gets that rebound over Cooper Flagg at the end. That was such a smart decision by Pope, because you have them at a 1-1. You're not in the double bonus. They're not in the double bonus yet. So you have them at a 1-1. If you get over the back for that rebound, you send them to the line for a 1-1. You're already up 3, so it doesn't even hurt you. And you get the rebound and you win the game. So I mean that's a big swing. That wins you the game, and it's smart because even if you foul, you're still probably going to win.
It would have been, I was telling my dad this, it would have been quite funny if Kentucky, we were up 3 points and they had an out of bounds play, and it would have just been really funny to win a game that way. To win a game where you foul, they shoot their free throws. Obviously, we know why. I was telling my dad, I'm like, that would be the funniest way to win the first signature game of the Mark Pope era.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, where the other kudos are due? Obviously, for that offensive rebound for Mr. Ortega Oweh. Mm-hmm. But my goodness, we have talked about it, Carson. We have talked about the concern for his free throw shooting. He was 64% last year. First of all, he's 9 for 11 on the year. I believe it's 82%.
And what did we say about that?
And he's just nails, man.
I know. And if we said in the preseason, we've harped on it a lot. We said that if he can increase his free throw percentage, I don't see why he can't average around close to 20 points a game. Because if he's shooting 9 of 11 to start out the season, that's a really high percentage. If he shot, what did he shoot last year? 65%?
He was at 65%, yeah.
But he had a lot of attempts because he's a slasher. So him getting to the free throw line and making those free throws are extra points for us and extra points for him that will take his stock from being a great college player to probably an NBA player, I'd say.
I think Ortega Oweh is an NBA player.
Yeah, that's after last night or 2 nights ago. It's hard to think that he's not an NBA player.
Yeah. I mean, look, it really is. I mean, just watching him play the game, he's just special. So, I mean, in this game, of course, Oweh, what did he have? I can't remember. He had, we'll get to the Carr. We'll talk about the old Carr here in a minute.
Yeah.
But Ortega had 15 in this game, 4 of 10, 2 of 3 from deep, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. But I mean, those free throws, man, I'll tell you this. I was not, when he stepped to the line, tie game. I'm not saying I wasn't confident, but I was with a group of people who seemed like, oh, well, we won. And I'm like, well, let's see these go down. He's not a great free throw shooter.
No, I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then he, the first one hits the front rim and and then falls in. And then he nothing but nets the second one. And then he gets fouled again, goes 2 for 2. He goes 4 for 4 in clutch at the free throw line, man. Kudos to Otega Oweh, because you got to think about it. The game doesn't matter. The whole game doesn't matter when you're in a 2-minute situation. You know what I mean? It's now what happens those last 2 minutes. That is the game, basically, when you're playing a close game in 2 minutes. And Oweh won the game with those free throws and that clutch rebound. I mean, he was just clutch, man. He was just clutch. Kudos to Otega Oweh. Really proud of the way
my MVP before the game too, if you remember.
Yeah,
I figured this was an Otega game because I mean, look what he did. What did I tell you? You got to shut down Con, and you gotta have a good offensive game out of Otega. And what did he do? I mean, he held Con to very inefficient shooting splits.
5 of 20. That
and it looked like he was exhausted the end of the game. Otega is a dog.
That guy shot the ball 20 times.
I
get
more minutes.
He's also supposed to be a top 5 pick. Huh?
He had more minutes and shot attempts than Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, he had 1 more shot attempt and 5 more minutes. And he's a top. I saw him 6 in a mock draft. It's not like he's some random guy. He's going to be a top 5, 10 pick. But I mean, if I'm Duke, I want of his 20 shots, I wouldn't mind 6 of them going to Flagg. But that's your all's problem to deal with. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Because we won and you didn't. But I'll tell you what though, that big guy's good.
Oh, he is really good. But another good takeaway. What did I say? I said I don't think he can keep up with the pace of the game. And what happened?
Yeah.
He cramped. Yeah. He got hurt. I just think
and that's why they lost, if you ask Duke fans.
If you ask Duke fans, it's because he wasn't in there for the and one against Andrew Carr with 2 minutes left, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was. He was the guy that Andrew Carr scored on.
Well, if he didn't get hurt, they would have won. What are you talking about? So that's just crazy.
See, I think all this is insane. Just the twists and turns of this win. I love it, though. It's good to be on this side of it and not the side of what we're normally on, where we're the Duke team.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably going to hurt our views a little bit because we're not going to have as many Duke fans coming to make fun of us. But I don't care because we get to make fun of them. We'll send it to them. If you know a Duke fan, go make fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do that in a respectful way.
And I bet they didn't go to Duke. I bet they didn't go to Duke.
Well,
if you know a Duke fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the deal. If you can get into Duke, kudos to you. My goodness.
Facts.
But still, have you ever been to Duke Bowie campus? Is awesome.
No, I have not.
Personally, I went. My aunt and uncle lived down there, near there. But we do have to have the one. I would say not negative, but what's the deal with J-Rob, man?
Yeah, dude, and the scary part for me, I think he did better in the second half. But the scary part for me in the first half is like, 1, he vanished. 2, his attitude was horrible.
Yeah,
if you
I saw that.
His body language, it was
bad.
Fixed it.
He fixed it.
Yeah, he fixed it in the second half.
I can't believe Pope. Pope does not seem like a let that slide type of guy.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, like I don't know what was going on with Jax, but I think I'm not really too concerned about it. I think it was just one bad game. I think he'll figure it out. But what I did love to see on the other side of that was how bad Lamont played in the first half, but then how good he played in the second half.
Yeah. I also love how Kerr Kriisa is just going to be the supervillain of this college basketball season.
What would you have done if he got that after that block? He had got that 3 back and hit it from 45 feet out. I would have
had a substantial reaction to that one. But
that would have been a legendary UK shot of all time.
Yes, it would have. Yes, it would have. But back to Robinson. Here's the deal. I think we've learned something that's negative for Robinson, but it's not necessarily negative for his play. I don't think this team has a star. Some might say it's Otega. Some might say it's Carr, right? Some might say it's Kobe Bryant. I don't think we have one. I don't think this team has a star. I think this team, let's play this game. You've had 3 games. How many different leading scorers have you had in 3 games?
I think it's been a different one every game.
3. Carr in this game, Brea against Bucknell, and then Ortega against Wright State. And I think that's going to be a trend. I think you're going to see at the end of the year, you're going to see Ortega was leading scorer 7 times, Carr's leading scorer 6 times, Robinson's leading scorer 7 times, Brea's leading scorer 6 times, and it's just going to be like that. I think you're going to have a lot of games where that's the case. I think Butler maybe will randomly sneak in and be the leading scorer 2 or 3 times. Like, you're going to have games like that. And what I've learned 3 games into the year, and once again, it's still early into the season to make these, but I don't think Kentucky has the best player. I think they have a team full of great players that
you got 7 guys that can give you 15 points.
Exactly. But that's my whole point too, is just like on any given night, any of these guys can be the best player on your team. And that's a great thing. I will tell you this. I think it's a lot easier to slow a team when they just have one guy, when they have one guy that you're really worried about. Right. And you slow that guy. If it's a guard, good luck with Lamont Butler. If it's a center, good luck with with Williams, Carr, and Garrison. Good luck. And shut down the rest of the team. You can't do that to Kentucky. There's too much ball movement. You have too many great shooters. You have a unicorn for a center. You can't shut this team down by stopping one player. Okay, great job, Duke. You held Robinson to 1 point, and you lost because you can't do that. You can't. I'm not saying they were necessarily trying to. My point is there's no such thing as shutting down one player and winning.
I agree.
You can't do it to this team. And that's a great thing. And that's a great thing in March, because when you're a team like that has one guy that's supposed to come give you 40 every game, right? Or give you 30 every game, and he has a bad game, you are going home. That's not the case for this team. And that'll be another reason why this team can make a run in March.
Yeah, no, I agree. This team, and it's so funny because like me and you were so bought into this team, but like it seemed like all media was not. And like, and so for us, it feels like this is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But for everyone else, it seems like they had no idea that this was going on.
Which is so stupid to me. And it's what we said, Carson. We told people what teams have succeeded in college basketball the last 5 years. Exact prototypes of this team. Rocket science, Einstein, beep boop. Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah.
What also has succeeded? A modern offense.
Yeah. Who's our next opponent? I didn't even look.
We play Lipscomb at home.
That was a joke.
Oh.
Shout out, Coach. I didn't even look. We play Saturday? No, we play Monday. Okay, my bad. But also Murray State money line, staring it down on Saturday. I'm just kidding. But that is how excited I am about the basketball team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who else here? Carson, I mean, what about Carr? We haven't talked about Carr. I mean, and partially why I'm going to let you rant on him. And it's what we said after it was one of the exhibition games. I think Carr is going to give you 10 to 15. Obviously, it's 17 in this game, and it feels like nothing happened. I think he's silently good. So what are your thoughts on how old Carr played?
Yeah, I think the funny thing about that is, Andrew, I think Andrew Carr is a guy who can give you 17 a night, but he doesn't have to be that guy for this team. But he had to be against Duke.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like we said, he stepped up. He was one of the guys that stepped up. Him and Ortega really took control in the second half. Ortega and Lamont were probably our best players in the second half.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? They took over and we won the game. Yeah. Now, maybe against Clemson, Kobe Brea is the guy who has 20, and he's the one taking over. And Amari Williams and Ansley Almanor are the other 2 guys that helped us spark a run. But tonight, it was Andrew Carr, and I think Andrew Carr is talented. I predicted Andrew Carr would be first-team SEC, but that's just because I think he's really good, and he showed that he was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to be that for this team.
But he's not the shiny thing, and that what I mean? That's why he's not any of those things. But Andrew Carr is a special player. Really. I mean, I just love watching that dude play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so yeah, Carr plays great. You go and you look at your bench. It was more of a 4-person bench. We only saw 2 minutes of Colin Chandler. So Almanor gives you 3 points. Garrison gives you 8. We'll talk about Garrison. Creasa gives you 6. Brea gives you 8 on 3 of 5 shooting. Another solid bench day for Brea. But I'm just telling you, Brandon Garrison might be and it wasn't, obviously he scored 8 points. He didn't score 10 or 17 or 15.
But those 8 points won us the game.
They were massive. I mean, he made a 3 that was a 2.
Dude, that was 3. I don't give a shit if his foot was on the line.
Yeah,
that's a 3.
You should have heard me. No, bro, what are you doing? No. Oh, good shot, BG.
We talked about that when the first game when he shot 2 of those 3-pointers, and I was like, well, his shot doesn't look that bad. It's just they didn't go in, and this one went in.
Yeah, I was like, oh, BG. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a 2. Damn, like that was the emotions I went through. But I mean, just running up the court. It was Lamont that missed the layup, and BG was there to clean it up. That was a huge basket. I mean, he did a lot well in that game. I mean, that's if you can get Brandon Garrison to play like that, 4 or 5 from the field, if he can play like that, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, if he can play like that, it's gonna be something special behind Amari.
I agree.
I mean, Amari had, I don't think you could say his best game. 3 of 12,
no.
Pretty bad. 3 of 12 from the field, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 points. And that's more what we're talking about, Carson. I don't think we played well, and we won.
Yeah, I really don't believe we played that great.
Yeah, and we're not saying Duke did either. We're not saying Duke played well, but that doesn't matter. What you don't want to be a team that this is our Super Bowl and we have to play our very best game, and they have to play not great for us to win.
100%.
Duke didn't play great. We didn't play great. We found a way to win the game.
And Duke and Kentucky also caused Duke and Kentucky not to play great, right?
Yes,
I mean, both good teams.
Yes. Yeah, no, Duke is an elite. These are both, I believe, top 15 teams in college basketball.
You say 15?
I think you could say 10. You could say 10. I think it's a little bit of a stretch. I think Kentucky's going to be ranked like 12.
Right now, I'm calling them both top 5 teams. I think Kentucky and Duke are both top 5 teams.
I got to see a little bit more. From both of them, I think. But top 12, I'm in. Top 12, I'm in. I got to see a little bit more.
I don't know. I think this year pans out well for both these teams. They both look really, really good.
And Duke, for Duke fans, I've made fun of you for 23 minutes so far. I'm going to give you a compliment now.
Yeah.
Duke this is a good basketball team. And they're a basketball team that is going to get hot down the stretch. I'm a lot more scared to play Duke in March/April than I am right now in November. So Duke's a damn good team. There's no debate to that. Duke's a great basketball team with a really high upside. But I mean, just a huge win. And I loved in his press conference today, Coach Pope comes out and says, like, if you're playing Kentucky, we're not going to win them all, but you're going to get 40 minutes, and you're not able to breathe for 40 minutes. I love that. I love the mentality of this team. There's no quit, Carson. There's no quit.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Pope, how about the halftime adjustments? I mean, you come right out of halftime and cut the lead down.
You're allowed to do that?
Yeah, you're actually allowed to make in-game
adjustments. I thought if you're down more than 5 points at halftime, the game's just over.
Yeah, no. And if they play a zone, you're not allowed to study zone at all. Not allowed.
Dude, I haven't even seen them. But I mean, I haven't seen them. Beep, boop, boop, beep. That's my favorite thing right now is that.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen the overlay of Pope and Coach Cal's press conference, it is. And I'll tell you this. I know that people get annoyed. I think Cal's press conferences are hilarious. People get pissed off by them.
No, I don't get pissed by them.
I think they're hilarious. Yeah. I do too, man. And we make fun of him, but I kind of like Calipari.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it's like I don't like him, but I love him kind of thing.
It's almost getting to a point now where we're talking too much trash about him to where I kind of feel bad, and I'm like, I still love Coach Cal.
I love Coach Cal too. I'm allowed to make fun of him, but hey, we'll see. We'll see in a few months. Hopefully Troy doesn't come to town, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ruthless today.
Or
Cat
boots,
beat Duke. I'm
ankle
ruthless.
injuries. Did you? I mean,
Um,
did you watch that game? It had
I
every.
did.
It was injuries. It was a
Z
terrible
made 6
sloppy
threes
game.
though,
I know Z played really good,
but he's not supposed to be shooting them. If you remember back to a few months ago.
yeah,
I'm sorry. That's it. Done.
yeah, done.
Last one. But Carson, any other thoughts on the Mondo win over the Pooh Devils?
No, other than I think this is a huge momentum builder for this program. I mean, we're way, way, way ahead of where everyone thought we were going to be at right now.
Agreed.
It's going to be a domino effect. It feels really good because it feels like the first time in a long time that the whole fan base feels the same about something.
Yeah.
And that's when we're at our best. And it's going to be a domino effect into recruiting that we can also talk about right now. I know we've been talking about Cal. We could mosey our way into that. What just happened recently. Mr. Caleb Wilson canceled his visit for Arkansas this weekend, which I kind of figured was going to happen because I think he's a cat. He was in the building for the Champions Classic to watch Kentucky take down Duke. He said he was going to be rooting hard for Kentucky to take down Duke. And then he canceled his Arkansas visit right after Kentucky does beat Duke. So all signs point to Caleb Wilson being a Kentucky Wildcat. And I've seen a lot of things traveling on the internet. And, I mean, they're right. This team will be the least talented team of Pope's tenure. So, hey, you're put on notice, college basketball world.
Yeah, no question. No question. Yeah, big win, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, really, really, really big win for this program, for this coaching staff, for these players. Just fun, man. I mean, my Gigi texted me. I'll read you this exact text. She asked me about the game. And I said, yep, what a win. Loved it. Go Cats. She said, most exciting thing I've seen for years. And I know my papa shared that. I mean, it's just the fans are fired up. This basketball is fun in Lexington again. There's just Pope is hope. There's a feeling of hope. I have a feeling of hope greater than I did last year at this point. Really. I mean, even with all the talent, well, you played Arkansas close or Kansas close, great. Okay. There's something about this team that it feels like they can do something special in March. And I think Vegas is starting to say that their odds are getting higher and higher on betting services for SEC regular season title and national championship. People are buying into this team. And I think that people that weren't bought in are buying in. And I think that tells you a lot. So I'm fired up. Any other thoughts before we call today?
I mean, the fans deserve this. This is a crazy stat. And I mean, it's been since 2016 that we started like 3-0, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. My call.
That's ridiculous for Kentucky basketball. So it's good to get back to where we belong. The fans deserve this. Everything's looking up. It's great to be a Kentucky Wildcat. Who's in the house tonight?
UK. I'm fired up.
There it is. Also, I want to run one more thing by everyone, and because I've noticed a lot of people doing it, but I know we love Otega away, and so when he goes to the free throw line, a lot of people have been chanting "away, away, away, away." I think we should start doing that for him. I think that would be fun. I think that's a good thing to start.
Yeah, that is a really, really cool thing to do. I am all in with you on that. Ladies and gentlemen, hope everyone has a great weekend. Louisville Saturday is at home as well, so this is not the last Saturday. Get out there and support this team.
Murray State.
Yeah, but get out there, go drink some Sprites and support this football team.
Still football. Still
football. So that's going to do it for today's show. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, helps us out a ton. Hit the like button, also helps a lot. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we will see y'all next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.